This is Generation Z. Today we're covering something that most Gen Zers can't live without, the internet. Whether you first logged on to the World Wide Web on your family's clunky home computer or your childhood best friend's iPod Touch, we can all safely say that once we logged on, we never quite logged off.
Say I would use Instagram or TikTok the most because one, I just love creating videos and posting on it and scrolling on the feed in general.
Gen Z has seen several phases of the internet. A lot of us remember when Vine and the sepia filter on Instagram was cool, or just when social media was all squares in general. And nowadays, it feels like we're living in a whole new age of the internet. A lot of our generation largely communicates through social media, shares jokes that originated solely online, and dedicates a lot of time to creating an online presence.
I don't know, maybe like TikTok, Snapchat, like those social medias.
Social media has consumed all of our lives in one way or another. Some of us spend hours lying in bed scrolling through TikTok when we should be sleeping, and some of us are influencers dedicated to broadcasting our lives to the entire internet. Regardless of what digital footprint we're leaving, this ain't your granny's internet anymore. Algorithms watch every move we make and push hyper-curated content and advertises in our faces at every turn.
So I can tell you my YouTube Shorts scrolling. I do scroll YouTube Shorts all the time. It's really bad for me, but I do it anyway. I see the most weird stuff because YouTube likes to recommend you random stuff you've never seen before.
I know one of my favorite things to come across on my feed is a good meme. I think some of our other Gen Zers feel the same way. Let's take a look at what kinds of content our generation finds funny.
There may be nothing more Gen Z than a Discord call. The chat servers hit the internet 8 years ago, and this little bluish, purplish dude has held a prominent place on gamer PCs ever since. Generation Z has learned to use social media to its fullest, and I'm just one example. I'm lucky to grow up in a time where I can stay connected to those I love while being far away. For my younger brother Colin and I, platforms like Discord have been a necessity.
You could use it for tasks as simple as just us calling each other, or as something as complex as a server based around a video game with tens of thousands of people.
We grew up extremely close, and both developed that classic Gen Z style of humor.
Rather than memes being the latest trends, they now make fun of the current trends. People are still sharing memes of the troll face.
Exactly, but now it's like ironic.
If you're not a part of Gen Z, a lot of this humor makes zero sense. And our mom's confusion at this nonsense has been the butt of the joke for years.
What I remember about the Gen Z memes is I relate it to art, like surrealism. Dadaism, Dada is a movement in art. Once I saw that, then I understood a little bit more. I still don't know if I appreciated it. I don't appreciate that kind of art either. Definitely different from the memes that came before that just had the text on the screen.
They were relatable. It was like,
yes,
when you forget your homework, now it's
right,
like when
right.
You forget your homework and it's like a picture of like Barack Obama.
Right. The ones without text and just like some guy and a random circle in the corner and then a random swirl, and you guys would be laughing your butts off, and I just was like, I didn't get it.
This strange red emoji with the letter B on it symbolizes the blood type. 2017 was the deep fried phase. People would just take random images and just turn the saturation all the way up. One of the features of deep fried memes was having like some sort of phrase, but replacing the first letter with the B emoji, Peter Griffin. Instead, his name was Peter Griffin.
You guys would drive me crazy with the B emoji. I just couldn't stand it after all. And I think that's how Colin got his nickname Ballin.
I say it in front of my friends and you get mad and they go, Ballin? What?
Didn't one of your friends actually believe that my name was Ballin at once?
Yes, somebody thought you were named Ballin, like from birth.
Number 15, Burger King foot lettuce. The last thing you want in your Burger King burger is someone's foot fungus, but as it turns out, that might be what you get.
That one still makes me laugh. It's just nonsensical. I was a fan of that one.
You made this whole skit starring me.
Burger King foot lettuce. The last thing you want in your Burger King burger is someone else's foot fungus.
My mom may not understand Gen Z memes, but she can recognize the importance of social media in staying connected.
Video call is everything. I can't imagine not being able to see you guys. Yes, I miss you, but I expected to miss you more. And I think I would have if I just heard a voice on a phone. But being able to see you, I feel like we're in the same room almost. So yes, it's made a huge difference.
All right, they're here, they're juniors. They're not officially affiliated with Hofstra. They're almost Friday Hofstra. Please welcome Cameron Trotter and JJ Vogt. Hello, hello. How are you doing today?
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks.
So let's get right into it. Would you mind describing what kind of content Almost Friday Hofstra makes?
Yeah, you want to go first?
Sure. So we kind of have two kinds of content. We do every week on Thursday, we post Almost Friday captioned pictures that are submitted by other members of the Hofstra community. And the intention there is kind of to get excited for the weekend. That it's almost Friday. Friday's when the weekend starts, and it's going to be a good weekend, you know. And then we have videos.
And the other is like short form reels or Instagram, TikToks, about a minute. And we do like outside interviews, and we interview people in the streets or people that are pivotal to our campus. And yeah, just short 1 minute videos.
I really liked how you mentioned like community members really coming into Almost Friday Hofstra and making the content, adding to it. So as the Hofstra school as a whole, it's Almost Friday for everyone.
Right. Yeah. It's supposed to get you excited. Like we know we post it, but like it gets us excited too. And then you realize that it's almost over. The final push is there, and Thursday leads to Friday, and Friday leads to fun.
Especially when other people repost it, and everyone is collectively, you know, working towards the weekend and getting excited.
Yeah. Speaking of repost, have you had any of your posts blow up or go viral in ways you didn't expect?
Yeah. So like we had what we call the elevator bit, which is I had gone on a fake date with my friend Gio, who was we were both wearing suits. We got like a little table with a white cloth, and we set it up in the elevator, and we were supposed to be having a bad date. So like I asked him like why doesn't he not want to move in with me, and like why doesn't he love me? And he's like, I'm like, oh, it's your mother.
And then we have cameras on each wall of the elevator, and I play the waiter, and I'm welcoming other people in our dorm building into the elevator, asking, party of two, and they get in, and then we capture their reactions as they are reacting to this dispute between two lovers. And,
and I think that video got around like 50 or 60,000 on TikTok, and like and the other video is the Steve video, which is right there, and Steve is just the bus driver that works here, and everyone loved him so much. And that blew up because it was just super sweet and endearing, the things that he said. Instead of, it was supposed to be a silly video, but it ended up being actually really like endearing and sweet, and he really cares about the people here. So it was just like a sweet. It was just
pulling the heartstrings. That's
like a pulled heartstrings.
That's
it was just Steve. So
Heartbreak and heartstrings being some of the most popular things on Almost Friday. Have you collaborated with any other Hofstra organizations since gaining more traction on your account?
Yeah. So originally we did some smaller stuff. We would help promote student films. We collaborated with the Hofstra roller hockey team to promote a big game that they had against Stony Brook. And I'd say our biggest collaboration was with Hofstra Concerts. We were able to get passes backstage and cover Music Fest and interview the talent.
Yeah, so we actually got to meet Cupcake and Ski Mask, which was just amazing. So we were like, we have to go through the process of getting that officially proved. Like the Ski Mask and Cupcakes team has to like approve this video. But we got to meet them, and it was just amazing. We felt like we were treated like celebrities, and it was amazing.
That's honestly amazing with Almost Friday Hofstra. But that's to wrap things up. Thank you for coming today. We actually had two of our field reporters go out with the Almost Friday Hofstra team to get an inside look on how the magic is made. Let's see what they've learned.
Hi, my name is Cameron Trotter.
And my name is JJ Vogt, and we are the creators and managers of the Instagram account Almost Friday Hofstra. We are not affiliated with Hofstra University.
That is correct. And we got Haley and Lily, Generation Z field reporters,
Hi, I'm field reporter Haley.
And I'm Lily.
go out, and we taught them how to make an Almost
Friday Hofstra video.
But first, let's have them teach us how to do it.
First step is coming up with an idea.
What if we put on masks and we made people think that we were mugging them? But then when we caught them and grabbed them and were scaring them, we actually gave them a prize.
So step 2 is critiquing the idea, and for us, that goes pretty harshly. We kind of break each other down before building each other back up. It kind of goes along the lines of, that's an awful idea. That's so stupid. Why would you say that? And then we work on the ideas.
Yeah. And I really like that part. I really like that part that we do. Because it makes me feel good.
Stupid response.
Nah.
But we can work on it.
I don't know, Haley. We might get arrested or something if we mug people. Bad idea, 2BH.
Okay, and then we get a good idea.
What about secrets?
Secrets? Like what do you mean by that? Like asking people their secrets?
It's a trade-off. We tell secrets, and then they tell one of their secrets.
Lily, I think we just came up with our idea.
So then for step 4, once we have a good idea, we have to go out into the field and look for people to be involved.
Okay, so I think we found our first person to interview. Let me go bother them.
So once you found the person, you execute. And that means you have to go up to them and face the fears that's inside you and speak to a stranger.
Are you busy right now?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not working on schoolwork, but I'm.
So he's not busy. Interesting. I was going to ask if you would be willing to tell me a secret if I told you one of my secrets.
My secret is that I'm actually Harry Styles, and it's a Hannah Montana situation.
Interesting. Well, my secret is that I like to dip my barbecue Lay's potato chips in peanut butter. It's a real thing that I do. It's real. That's a true fact about me. And now I've shared a secret with you. Thank you so much.
Okay. Well, my secret is that I actually have a secret girlfriend. She goes to another school. You wouldn't know her. Yeah, no. That's why, even though I'm the most eligible bachelor in the comm school, I am not dating anyone. So.
Dang. Well, my secret's a bit more intense than that, honestly. I used to pretend to be a horse in the bathroom stalls of my elementary school. I would neigh and whinny and whatnot.
And lastly is step 6. After we've completed the video, we feel that we deserve a treat. And
you deserve
we have a little treat.
Welcome to The Divide. Today we have members of all different generations, a baby boomer, a millennial, and 2 members of Generation Z. So starting off with a question for the baby boomer, I don't mean to call you old, but you kind of saw the internet come about. What were some of the first social media platforms and websites you remember seeing?
The first one was getting onto AOL, having an AOL account. That started to expand to Facebook. So it was really great at first to be able to get a lot of information in a short period of time. And then it became a little hectic.
That is very true in today's new social media is popping up every day. It's a lot to keep track of. And for the millennial, what social media platforms do you remember using before modern social media took over?
So I remember AIM. So AIM was the only way to message your friends. We didn't have all these other platforms. And MySpace was the first social media that we could get on. We couldn't even access Facebook when we were teenagers because you had to be in college. So it's crazy that it's like the grandma, grandpa thing now, but we couldn't access it when we were teenagers.
I did not know you couldn't access Facebook without being a college student.
Yeah, it was originally just for college students, so we had to get on MySpace.
You learn something new every day.
Yeah.
And for our Gen Zers, what are some of the social media platforms you use and how do you use them?
Instagram, Snapchat. I don't use it, but B-Reel is pretty popular.
Oh yeah,
these days.
B-Reel popped up.
Yeah.
Yeah, those.
TikTok.
Oh yeah, TikTok's the big one.
Yeah.
Big one.
Discord.
Oh, Discord is a social media. Yeah.
I use Reddit for like all my actual like real life questions. Reddit's like the one to go to because they're real people on there.
Yeah, like how do I deal with this scrape on my arm?
Yeah.
Someone 7 years ago has a specific answer to your random question at 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
And let's bring this to the entire panel. Do you think the way social media platforms try to appeal to you personally through your algorithms or ads take away from your own personal privacy online?
So I would say yes, it does. There is some benefits to it. I do enjoy my For You page. I do enjoy that. I'm like, okay, this is exactly what I wanted to see. But there is a part of me that feels like I'm sort of being characterized super simply. And also sometimes if I feel bad and I'm starting watching bad content, it'll give me bad content and then I'll just be in this cycle of sadness if I was in a sad spot later or earlier. So just like it will capture the moment that you have and then it'll kind of perpetuate that. So sometimes it's a bummer.
I would say that it's fine for platforms to show you content that the algorithm decides that you would probably want to see. I think where we fall into a little gray area is with advertisements when platforms understand what content you like and then will show you ads for products or services. I think that that kind of can get a little troublesome.
Definitely, and with the wiser generations.
The internet is really saturated. There's a lot going on in the internet, so I understand why they want to narrow it down to what you want to see. But it does get a little bit tricky because I think that people should have the option to opt out of that if they want to go to another part of the internet. So the popular thing now is like, this is what's on my side of the internet. But what if you want to be exposed to other things? I think that is where it gets sticky.
These little like echo chambers our algorithms form with us.
Well, for me, being in the older generation, I've just recently started to buy certain things online. And the problem that I come up with is I ask for one thing, and then I get 500 emails of things I have no interest in, and I can't get them to stop. And then all of a sudden they ask for my phone number so they can confirm, and then all of a sudden it gets to somebody else, and then you don't know who you're talking to all the time. There's all these different people. So
it's just a never-ending cycle. But thank you all for your wonderful answers. So now let's hear from someone who knows a lot about social media.
Tone Franciscini, known also as Tone France on his platforms, is not only a Hofstra grad, but a social media influencer who garners great success through his TikTok videos, where he appears sometimes as various characters and in relatable sketches that we have all experienced in our lifetime. We were able to catch up with him and talk about his come up and how he goes through his process for creating his videos.
I've been doing this since March 2020 when COVID started. We all got sent home from college, and I was kind of looking for an outlet to get all my creativity out because, in the comm school, we're always filming and doing projects. So I was kind of looking for something, to fill that void. So I was, in the middle of, the pandemic, and I needed a way to get my creativity out, I guess. So I joined TikTok and started posting just random skits on there with the character that I use today. And that sort of took off. And I noticed that was my first video to get over 1 million views. So I was like, wow, I got to try doing this again. And it kept working. YouTube has been working, I think, even better than TikTok. Obviously, I've been doing it 365 days every year since 2020 kind of ran out of like relatable things that I did in my childhood. So now I just kind of do like goofy sketches. This really is my dream. I've always wanted to entertain people. So I'm glad that I pursued this career path. And my advice would just be, don't be afraid to try.
We're here with a very special guest. He graduated from Hofstra and now he's got 1.3 million followers on TikTok, and he's back to speak on his viral fame. It's Antonio Franceschini.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm great. It's good to be back in the comm school, kind of virtually.
Virtually in the comm school. Is it all that you remembered?
Yeah, it's weird seeing my face on this giant screen. Never been on the screen before.
So starting off with our questions, did you always want to be a content creator?
I mean, I grew up with Vine, and I always kind of idolized those people on Vine. I was a little bit too young to be posting on there and actually be getting views, but I actually, was posting on YouTube since I was 11 years old, and that's just kind of always been the goal of mine, is to be famous for just making people laugh, doing funny skits. I never wanted to actually be in an office setting. I always wanted to kind of be my own boss and just entertain people. And that's what I'm doing right now. And I'm really grateful for that opportunity.
That's honestly great. Like, I babysit this kid and he always tells me when I grow up, I want to be a YouTuber. So the younger generations really have that drive to be on social media, to be on the internet, because we grew up with it. Following up, what was the first video of yours that blew up?
So I had a couple when I first started in March 2020. And TikTok actually has this thing where they kind of put, at least when they first started, I don't know how it is now, but they would kind of like blow up one of your videos. So one of my first videos I ever posted was like 10-year-old me when the doctor told me I was obese or whatever. And it was like, it got like 700,000 views. And I was like, wow, this is a character that I guess people can relate to. So I tried doing other stuff and it never really clicked. But my first video to get over 1 million views was with a character who was called 8-Year-Old Me. And it was just me doing like a sketch where I was in the toy aisle at Walmart. And I was like, it would be really cool if I had this toy, Mom. And that blew up. So then I just kept doing stuff with that character and it worked. And that's kind of just what I'm doing today, is the same stuff with that character and the character's friends that are all just played by me.
Reliving your youth and profiting off of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of youth, you largely make kids content. Is this the demographic you wanted to make content for when you first started posting on Tone France?
No, not at all. I mean, I never really had like a target demographic. I was just kind of like, I want to make content. I want to make people laugh. I actually, for a while, was dressing up like Jesus because I had even longer hair than I do now. And I had the longer beard because of COVID. And I mean, it would, those videos would do well, but they never really got as great of views as my kind of 8-Year-Old Me content. It just so happens that the people who watch 8-Year-Old Me is 8-year-olds. So my demographic is around like, I've had from ages like 5 to 12 tell me that they, like, parents reach out and say that their kids watch my content. I even have some kids trying to message me on like Instagram and stuff. And it's so cute. And I love knowing that there's people out there who watch my content. Even if it's not the demographic that I was originally hoping for, I'm really happy to be entertaining the next generation, I guess, whatever that generation is called.
Well, thank you so much for all your insights on how you use social media, how you use Tone France, and I wish you continued success with your different platforms. Thank you for tuning in to the finale of Generation Z, a show that was written, created, and produced and hosted by Gen Z. Before we sign off, let's see the folks that made this program possible.